I'm gonna finish. La la la,
wait till I get my money right.
Tupac told me back in the days, you had to get your money right, and then you go to war. So I'm going to war.
Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing.
Y'all finally touched the person that's not gonna take it anymore.
You can't tell me nothing.
Okay, can I finish?
Interview adjourned. Peace.
What is up, y'all? It's your girl Kelly. We are back again with another video. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. And if you're new here, guys, please hit that subscribe button. We do politics, we do true crime, culture, news, all of that stuff. And I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would hit subscribe and join me on this channel. That would be very much appreciated. And if you're not new here, then you guys already know I'm very thankful for each and every one of y'all for subscribing, commenting, liking, whatever it is you do. Thank you. So guys, this is going to be a bit of a different video today than what I normally do. I do a lot of politics and true crime, but every now and then it'll move my heart to come on here and do a cultural video. And this one has been a big topic. So y'all let me know, have you guys heard anything about this? And for those of you who normally come for, politics or true crime, stick around, give it a chance, Obviously, this is a very polarizing topic because it deals with two very toxic people in a very toxic situation. And, I really debated even talking about this situation to begin with because, I don't really agree with, this everything that goes on between these two and the amount of coverage that these two people get in the media, because of just how truly toxic their situation is. So I didn't really want to give any more attention to it, but I felt, after thinking about it for a little while, that I just wanted to come on here and say a little bit about it because I think it's important. I mean, they are influencing a lot of people at this moment. The coverage that they get on social media and on places like TMZ and just entertainment news sources has been increasing. The more and more dramatic events happen between these two, and so we're gonna get into a little bit of the background history, and then I want to go over just a couple videos with you guys to show basically what has transpired in their relationship and the progression of how this has finally come to a head and where we are now. And then I want to know you guys' thoughts about this. How does this affect in good or bad ways? Hopefully, I don't really see any good ways, but I just want to know you guys' thoughts on what you think that the amount of media that these two get has an effect on young people as a whole and on our society. And seeing this in our, on our timelines, on our news feeds, how does that affect our overall well-being as a society? So that's kind of what we're going to get into today, guys. So I'm going to just give y'all a very brief background because I didn't really even know anything about these two until pretty recently. But they have been kind of circulating and gaining more and more popularity on social media and, in recent years. But I think this has been going on for 2 to 3 years, the whole culmination of their relationship, but I just recently kind of started becoming aware. So basically, just it's going to be a quick little overview. They met on a reality show that debuted on Zeus, and if you guys don't know what Zeus is, it's just a paid subscription service, but it's more, think of VH1 or MTV, when they had those super toxic Flavor of Love and Rock of Love shows back in the 2000s. Think of that. That's what Zeus is. Okay, it's super toxic, subscription-based reality shows, things like that. And so they met on it was kind of like a Blueface-The type of show where he had a bunch of women, and he is supposedly a rapper. I mean, he had some songs, I'm sure, if you guys are embedded in culture and more specifically pop culture or rap culture, then you already know who this is. This is just for anyone who doesn't. But he's a rapper. He had a show on Zeus. That's where they met. And the rest has been history, pretty much. I mean, it's just been a whirlwind, a complete and utter downward spiral. And it has been played out for all of us to see. And it's just only gotten worse. So basically, this young lady started out as a normal looking person, which I'll go ahead and show you guys some of those photos now because it's very shocking, the before and after. So this is like, obviously a still frame from the No Jumper podcast, which that's going to be the end of the video where I want to go over a few clips and how we got to this moment of seeing them on No Jumper and what transpired after that. But this is Chrisean before she even actually met Blueface, which is very, very tragic to see. So let's get into that, okay? And this is, I believe this is just a old live that somebody had saved of hers, okay? But look at how beautiful she was, okay?
And it's like, I don't even feel like I'm like that, Like, on some real shit, like, I know I'm pretty, but thank you. It's like the way y'all gas me, y'all be making me feel like I'm in your love or something, or heaven that.
I mean, just very, very beautiful young lady here. This was her in her era where she was doing like a lot of sports, and this is I guess is this directly from her Twitter? I think this is her Twitter, her official Twitter, Chrisean Rock. But I don't know why she doesn't have a blue check. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, just look at how beautiful she was. So this is where she started, okay? And she did come from a very rough family background. She had, she grew up in Baltimore where her father was in prison for most of her life. Her mother was on drugs. And when they were together or whenever he was out of prison, there were instances of domestic violence that she had to witness in her childhood home. She had to go through being homeless and all kinds of tragic, traumatic events for a young lady to have to go through. So it's not to say that we have no sympathy for this girl, but it's gotten to the point where now I was looking at this interview and looking at recent events, like I'm starting to look at her crazy, and I get it. She's very, broken as an individual, but her behavior recently has just become absolutely just abhorrent, to say the very least. So let me show y'all one more. Okay, wait. I wanted to show you guys this little, it was like before they were famous clip. I might have exited out of that. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, here you go. This is a little bit. So this is and all the videos and stuff are going to be linked in the description. If you want to see the full length videos, like I said, I'm just briefly touching on a little bit of background here before we get into the No Jumper interview. But this is from before they were famous, and you can just kind of see where she was at before she ended up going on this reality television show with Blueface.
Chrisean's impressive athletic ability would be the one saving grace of her childhood, and her talents as a track star would see her through high school and all the way to a scholarship at Santa Monica College in California, which she joined in 2018, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the year that Tatiana came out. In fact, not only was Chrisean an impressive collegiate athlete, she even managed to parlay that skill into an appearance on Fox's Ultimate Tag, in which she walked away with the $10,000 prize money.
It has been an historic night. Congratulations to Shawnee and Thomas, tonight's champions.
I mean, even back then, she was showing signs of being a generational athlete. Like, this girl could have been the next Shelly Ann or Sha'Carri or Simone Biles.
So yeah, I mean, just it's really sad when you consider where they are now, and it still hasn't run its full course. So who knows what might even happen later on down the road. Okay, so basically that's where we're at as far as the background of their story goes. So they got together after this reality show, and it did not work out for the best for any of them, because while she was in this house, she ended up having some sort of altercation with Blueface's first baby mother, where she gets her front tooth, one of her front teeth, knocked out of her head during this altercation, and this would come to be like a fixture in their relationship, where basically, and now she just completely goes around with one front tooth missing. So let me see if I can pull that up. If you're not familiar with Chrisean and what that looks like, this is her with the front tooth, and she just goes around like this all the time. And every time I see it, it just makes me mad, because this is a beautiful girl, and it's disgusting to me, because it's like, you were humiliated on national TV by this man's baby mother, okay, who this video right here is the baby mama explaining how she, ran up on Chrisean, and, basically she ran off and got her front tooth knocked out, which I'll play a video in a second of Blueface's manager describing these, these events or whatever. So it makes me mad, because it's like, why put the tooth back in? Because she was able to get a replacement tooth that Blueface ended up having to pay for, and he makes this a point to, like, I feel it's to humiliate the girl, to ask her to leave the tooth out or to take the tooth out whenever she's wearing it. So he got it fixed. He got her an implant, and then he, I guess, berates her or, picks at her whenever she's wearing it, to the point that now it's kind of like a badge of honor. She doesn't wear it, I guess, as a show of love for him, which is just so sick. I mean, it's just, the reason why I wanted to do this video is because if you're a young lady out there, or even if you have young children, like of this age, who watch this kind of content, who listen to rap or, even popular music, just ask them about these. Ask them about these two, and I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, they will know who they are. And if you have a young girl, she might even be a fan of this young lady, because now she's putting out music and she's become pretty popular. And if you go on Instagram and you search these two up, you will see that the comments are like, on either end of the spectrum. So people either are saying like how amazing this girl is, how much they love her, how much they love their relationship, like their relationship goals between her and Blueface. And the other half is just exasperated and talking about how much they hate seeing these two. We don't want to see them anymore, but yet people still keep posting them. And I have to see it too, to the point where I almost went and blocked their name mentions on my Instagram, because I'm so sick of it. It's unhealthy for everyone involved. Especially these two people, especially Chrisean and Blueface. It's completely unhealthy for them, and I truly feel like if they continue, that one of them will end up dead. But it's also unhealthy for anyone who has to see this on a daily basis on their timeline, in their newsfeed, and anyone who consumes their content that they put out, because they now have another show on Zeus called Blueface and Chrisean Crazy in Love. So, which is basically chronicling their entire twisted, fucked up relationship, putting it on display. For $5 a month, you can watch these two people basically beat each other up. They've had instances where they've fought each other's family members. Blueface, for example, has fought Chrisean's father. Chrisean has fought Blueface's mother, Blueface's sister, Blueface's baby mom. It doesn't end. They fight each other. There's been multiple instances of domestic violence highlighted on the show. And this is something that people are paying to consume. It is a mental illness to me. It really, truly is. And I refuse to watch that show. I've seen clips, but I could never, because it's, what is the draw there? What is the actual draw? I don't see any, but a lot of people do. So that is what is going on in our society. You guys remember the days of Chris Brown and Rihanna, whenever that happened? Do you guys remember how shunned Chris Brown was after that? Which, granted, yes, for a good reason. He made a mistake, but I feel like people still hold that over that man's head to this day. And I think that's completely wrong, considering what we highlight now. These two idiots, and others alike too. It's not just them. There's other people on Instagram that are now starting to act like this in relationships, that are now starting to highlight their different domestic abuse situations as if it's some sort of clout, as if it's some sort of thing that to be proud of. And it's becoming so prevalent that it's you can't avoid it. If you're into this sort of, entertainment culture or rap culture, you literally cannot avoid it. There was a song that came out the other day that I heard between Glorilla and Moneybagg Yo that was all about I mean, it was just like all about like discussing like, oh, this dude ain't shit, like my nigga ain't shit, like my bitch ain't shit, but like we like to fuck. It's toxic, disgusting, and I'm sorry for the language because I don't normally subject you guys to this sort of thing, but I think it's important to say because culturally it's destroying not only our young kids, but people that are in their 20s and even 30s, because they are seeing this, consuming these types of things, and it's being highlighted. They're being given television shows. They are being given appearances. They're being given interviews. They're getting money. They're monetizing this sort of thing. I mean, it's a sickness, y'all. It's a true sickness, and it's bad for everyone. So I want to play this little clip here about this girl's talking about how she lost her tooth, and this was like, I believe, right before she was arrested, or right around the time that she was arrested for stealing this man's car, and then she wrote on his walls in blood, "I love blue," before stealing his car and then driving across country and then getting arrested. So I don't know if this was before or after, but let's watch this.
Okay, so I'm backing up and shit because I still see girls coming in a crib and they not
backing up from the camera. I mean the mic too.
Oh, so like, all right, they coming, and then I'm like, all right, I walk up. Can I interact with?
She interacted
I'm
with you.
backing up, but
Right.
hold on, let me. Can you see me? Can
Good
you see
God.
Me? Oh, I can. Oh, you got the mic.
This girl's slow.
All right, so look, yo, I swear to God, yo, so look, I'm like, all right, so you can see me now. All right,
Oh my
bet.
God.
So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, who's you? She's like, yeah, you touching on my man, you touching on my man. I'm like, all right. I'm ready to steal in her face. Like that's my first instinct. You see how I just swing on bitches, don't say nothing. So I'm just like, all right, if I swing, I'm gonna speed up time. I'll swing. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Okay, so that's enough of that. Sorry I even played that, honestly. She's just describing where, which this is another thing. They were having this show on Zeus where he had all these girls come into his house, basically to see which one he was going to end up picking that he liked the most, just utter stupidity, stupid back then. But it was a little bit more entertaining back then. There was less of like just slutting yourself out for views or to get clout, to get popular, to be able to like, turn that into some sort of like, YouTube or Instagram career. Now it's just pathetic and sad. So I want to play for you guys now the video, or not, it's like from a podcast of, because I'm going to let him explain it because she's just pissing me off with this whole whatever she's doing. This is Whack 100, which take this with a grain of salt. This is, everything here is, alleged when it comes to my opinions. And then also with this clip I'm going to show you, this is just from him. I mean, he's obviously very close to the situation. He is Blueface's manager. But I did find this to be fascinating because he's always had a very, tumultuous relationship with Chrisean. And everyone really in his life has. Everyone, I mean, they're both so toxic that they have alienated everyone who is close to them and continue to just interact with only each other, and then every now and then you'll see them bring people back into the fold, and it just never ends well. So this is him kind of explaining what happened with the tooth situation, Toothgate, if you will.
F you, this a $2 bitch you brought to a show because she was homeless. Now help me understand yo gangster. I told him today, you looking like the female, she looking like the male.
So I have a question, Wack. What exactly would you say that you don't really care for about Chrisean?
I don't care for nothing about the bitch. She a filthy, dirty bitch, a hygiene fucked up.
Oh my God.
The bitch 13 in the head. Her mouth is fucked up. The little girl's gonna she gonna find herself in an alley somewhere, and somebody gonna do something to her because her mouth. I don't know what they do in Baltimore, but somebody gonna do. They already done robbed the bitch. Y'all just don't know it. They beat the bitch in Rialto, robbed her, took all the jewelry, all that. Talking shit, nigga, whoop, 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 bitch, what? They went over there, them little young niggas, and put that steel to her like she was a nigga 6'8", right? So out here, if she continues to do what she do, something's gonna happen because these niggas ain't going for that. I keep her away from me so I'm not triggered.
What exactly happened to her tooth?
The bitch ran into a unicorn, knocked her tooth out. She the only
And
one
then look at
in the
this.
world who had an animal.
And then look at this. Y'all, let's take a look at this freeze frame, okay? She got Blueface's face on her damn replacement tooth, y'all. What is this? This is a joke. What? This is a joke life, right? Like, I mean, I must be dreaming. I have to be in a simulation. The rapture must have already happened. I guess I did not make it. That's horrible to hear. Maybe, hopefully, there will be a round two, because at this point, what in the ever loving world? Okay, I mean, and just look at this girl. Like, we saw the before pictures. Okay, look at her now. I mean, just, oh God, it's tragic.
Animal that don't exist knock her tooth out. Blueface sister and the baby mama, she was talking shit to him online. They popped up at the house late night, came in the front door, and the bitch took off running. And we got a unicorn statue in the living room, and she ran right into the unicorn. And she ran right into the unicorn.
Oh my God.
That's what knocked it out.
Oh my God. So yeah, guys. That's the backstory on the tooth. The tooth really bugs me, if y'all can't tell, because like I just think that like I said, he uses it as a way to like berate and to like degrade her, I feel. But it's under the guise of like, oh well, if you love me, you would if you really were a rider or whatever, like you would not have to need the tooth, or you would leave the tooth. It's a form of control, and it's a form of like trauma bonding that I just find to be so disgusting, that like every time I see her with her damn gap tooth out, it just makes me mad, because I'm like, if you had any love or respect for yourself as a woman, you would not care. You would not let that man talk you into leaving that out of your head. Like, why even did you replace it in the first place? Why did you spend all that money at the dentist to go and replace it if you were just going to act like a damn fool and walk around here with your front tooth missing? And people look at it as a game. Like, they just really... It's scary, honestly, that people can act like this and be elevated to the point that they are elevated. It's very disturbing to me in general. So, okay, what do I want to show you guys? I guess we'll go on to the No Jumper interview. This was just on TMZ. This is just one of the many instances of them fighting on the streets of Hollywood. I'm not going to play this video because, first of all, TMZ is some hoes, and they will probably copyright strike me before I can even hit update. And then, second of all, no violence. I can't really show y'all this on my channel, I don't think. And but they did this right here on the streets of LA in front of God, everyone, and any camera that would be around to capture it. And then literally on the very next day on Instagram, they were laid up in bed together. Just all smiles and all, lovey-dovey and happy. And this is what they do. This is what they do. And so people, little girls, young men, even grown-ass people like myself, or 20-year-old people or whoever, 50-year-olds, boomers, grandmas are all watching this. And it's demoralizing, y'all. It is absolutely demoralizing, because having to see people like this gain notoriety and popularity after, displaying this immense amount of bad behavior, it is demoralizing. And it's bad for morale on so many levels. And, they ought to be ashamed of themselves, and so should everyone else who enjoys watching this type of behavior and then can sit up and watch them do Instagram lives, smiling and laughing in each other's faces. And at this point, this girl actually has, I don't know, you can't tell from these pictures, but at this point, this girl has her entire neck, okay? And I mean her entire neck is dedicated to portrait style tattoos of Blueface's face, okay? And every time after they get into an altercation, or if they get into like a really bad fight where they like, say they're broken up on Twitter, and then they just end up getting right back together, which we'll talk about that in a second, but she has, I think, 5 now portrait style tattoos of him all across her neck. I mean, I'm just talking about the entire neck. Just covered with his face. It's just okay. All right. Okay. So now we're going to go to the No Jumper interview, guys. If y'all saw this, let me know in the comments. This was disturbing. The entire thing was absolutely disgusting to watch. And knowing now what I know about their situation after, okay, this was posted when did they do this? 3 days ago, y'all. And so from this to what we know now, and I just recently, right before jumping on here, got another piece of news that I'll share with you guys after this video. I mean, it's just, I mean, somebody needs to intervene. Like, I feel like the police or Jesus Christ himself, or I don't even, their parents maybe, like, I don't understand how this is allowed to continue on. So we're going to play a little bit of this interview. I'm going to kind of jump around because obviously this is almost a 2-hour interview. I would definitely suggest you guys go and watch that if that's something you're interested in. Like, if you're interested in this kind of like entertainment culture, pop, or them in general. I will link it down below, but let's play this and I'm going to jump around just so y'all can see kind of like how this progressed. So they show up to this interview 3 days ago on No Jumper, and immediately she has a very bad vibe to her. You can tell her mood is off. You can tell she's clearly intoxicated, and they've had very toxic and negative interactions before, but this feels a little different. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this.
I think me and her, we've, being in the media world today, like me and her have experienced that kind of like. Yeah. It's
I get dragged every time I speak well on you guys.
Yeah. Somebody said,
but it's still a viral moment. Whether you get dragged or not, it's still a.
Right. Yeah.
It brings in customers, so I see why people do it. Obviously, they got to speak on the hottest topics at the time. So
my shit's been organic though, bro. Like I didn't do it like to.
Yeah, because you keep the same personality. Like.
Yeah, like I didn't do it like for views because I know it's gonna be views.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's for y'all too. Like I don't think y'all do it for views. I don't think y'all do it really for any of that. I think y'all motherfuckers just crazy together. Y'all just love each other.
Yeah, we just have a lot of moments. That's all.
This is not love. I just want to say that for anyone that thinks that it is. If there's any young people watching this video right now, if you're under the age of 20, this is not love. This has nothing to do with love. This is of Satan. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lot of moments. And
look at this girl.
See, the thing about you is you kind of like stand on your initial idea of it. And, other podcasts and interviewers, they'll dick ride you in the beginning and then turn around.
I don't want to sneak nobody. Yeah, I feel like that's sneaking
exactly.
Exactly.
So in the beginning, they'll be like, "Oh, this the hottest artist out. He's this man." Speaking specifically at academics, right? Him like, why are you being mean to him?
What are you talking about? I thought you were talking about me, and then I called you a bitch.
Yeah, we gotta say what led up to that though. We can't just say that.
Fired off,
why you say that to your man though?
Thank you.
That's your man.
Let's answer that.
So they're talking basically. He was asking questions about, or they were both asking questions about their latest episode on Zeus that had just come out, where it showed another instance of domestic violence between these two, where she hit him with a glass and ended up like cutting his head open, with this glass, which this is just another day in the life for them. But she was getting agitated and visibly irritated with the line of questioning because she was so drunk and because she was just off to, came in with like a bad attitude. So she's getting very annoyed with the interviewers. And it's just, I've never seen anything like this in an interview. So this is what we've divulged down to as a culture, guys. Like, we used to have, like, Diane Sawyers or, Barbara Walters or somebody, like, sit down and, have little moments in nice rooms, like, nice, polite things. And, you might get, like, a scoop every now and then out of them. But, like, you didn't have to see people in their worst moments on live TV. And then see it transpire to the level that this interview, got to. I mean, this is just, it's bad. It's really bad. So I'm going to play just a little bit more of this, and then I'm not going to really, put y'all through any much more, but I just want to give like a little example of how they interact with each other and how toxic this was. And I'm going to give y'all an update on where they are now. This was from 3 days ago, mind you.
Think about it. Don't you think that
Okay, my man called me a bitch. So why are you being a bitch? Like, why are you being a bitch?
But that's still your man.
He gotta call me a bitch.
That's your man.
Okay, that's weird.
That's your man.
That's weird. If he call me a bitch, you're a bitch too. You're a bitch. You're a bitch too. You're a bitch too. You're a bitch too. You're a bitch too. You're a bitch too.
You can't get through to her. You can't get through to her.
Don't call me a bitch if you don't want to be a bitch too.
You can't get through to her.
Don't call me a bitch if you don't want to be a bitch too.
You don't think that demasculates your man, son?
You don't think that? You don't think
that make him feel low?
My nigga, are you listening? You're just talking for one person.
I'm listening.
You're not. You're talking for one person.
You're not listening because you're not even letting him talk.
You're just saying the little man shit. I get it. That's the thing.
And he's got a point with the whole, that's your man. Why are you emasculating him? I agree with that. That could be a whole other video, though. I don't really get too deep with that. But how she acts is just so problematic for me, because no matter how toxic they are, together, obviously, you should never get to the point where you are acting like the man in the relationship, like this young girl, I feel like, does. And she does do this, Her look, her appearance, her demeanor, everything has, just gone down to this level of, where now, she's still a beautiful girl, but the way she presents herself is not the way she used to. And she just, has become more manly. She fights her own boyfriend, ladies, can't, listen, bad idea to begin with, but even worse if you are in such a toxic relationship that, you've gotten to this point, okay, and you're still physically fighting each other, let it go.
Thing,
so, yeah,
but it's not a thing.
She's not too good at letting people talk. If you're calling me a bitch, and so she started coming on to me, and so yeah, that's how that happened. So as she coming on to me, I'm deflecting, obviously wrestling with her.
Next, can we go to the next
So
question?
once she realized she couldn't beat me, she went outside. She went for a walk. She came back with a glass cup in her hand. I kid you not. I locked the fucking sliding door.
It's funny to him.
I'm like, all right, she finna come do some fried shit. She went for a walk. She came back with a glass cup. I locked the door on her. She opened the door.
Ma'am, last thing you need is a shot.
I ain't finna
walk out and give it.
No, I opened the door. Boom.
That cup over there, Church?
Absolutely fucking not.
She started coming close to me with that glass. I'm like, ooh, I know she finna hit me with this glass, right? I'm like, hold on. She don't need nothing. She good. Don't baby her.
That's
gonna make it worse.
Hey, I can handle it.
Don't give her too much attention. It's gonna make it worse. So look.
What do you mean too much attention? Why are you doing that? I'm not against you right now. Stop being like that. We just not talk about this fucking stupid ass.
Usually you cool.
I'm cool.
Now you just being
how? Because
obnoxious.
And this is another thing. They kept sidebarring with each other throughout this entire interview. There was points where they were talking or trying to talk low to one another, basically having a fight on camera in the middle of the interview. I mean, this is just a shit show. Inside of a shit show, inside of a golden turd. Okay, I mean, I just don't even know. I don't even know. It's almost mesmerizing. I can understand why people, hate watch these sorts of things, but this has to stop. I mean, I'm not saying that they should both not have careers independently of each other, but them two together, we have to stop promoting this. I mean, as a society, as Americans, I mean, if Joe Biden needs to get on camera and drag his old ass up to the microphone and say something about it, then that's just what we're gonna have to do, because I cannot take much more of these two, okay? But in the meantime, let's keep watching.
I was trying to say I started it. Nigga, I hit you first. I didn't hit you first. Don't say that.
I wish you that your response to stuff means more than what somebody did first or second. Your response.
Like, look, they're like talking to each other.
You.
Like these two aren't.
What happens first or second?
What the fuck is this?
Has nothing to do with you. Your response is what just.
About it, because you ain't even got the truth on you. That's why you repeated it. You think I don't know?
Bro, she's
you it was like we fam. I was hella cool. We was hella cool 20 minutes ago.
Hold on, wait. Express
What?
yourself.
Let me
yourself.
drink.
Good.
This shit, wow.
Rock, do you ever so I'm not against you. I'm here
I'm
with
not
you.
against
I'm listening.
Nobody here.
But
I ain't trying to laugh and trying to get a joke. What you
I ain't
saying?
against you. I might be against certain situations.
Stop playing with me.
Listen, I might be
That
against
was
certain
playing with me,
situations,
trying to joke
but I'm not
what she
against
said,
her
she
per
said.
se.
What you playing for?
Nobody's against you.
What you playing
over
for?
here.
So
Lit.
It's
I
sensitive.
think I'm gonna finish.
What you
it.
playing for?
I think I'm gonna finish it.
No, you're not.
You wanna do it by yourself?
What do you mean? Do it by
I'm gonna do it. I'm
myself.
gonna do it. I'm
Are
not
you
finna-
looking at
no,
me?
No. Wait, listen to what I'm saying. Fuck.
No, because you're being weird.
So at this point, he's trying to end it, and he is trying to basically, after 30 minutes of pure, unadulterated fuck shit, okay, ridiculous behavior between these two, and just an utter shamble of an interview, he's basically telling her, look, either I'm going to finish the interview by myself, or you can. But it does not need to continue on like this, which I give him props for doing that. But it's gonna quickly deteriorate from here.
Listen to what I'm saying.
They're talking to me. Am I supposed to just be quiet?
That's crazy. This
If
type
you
of-
want me
look,
to be
guys,
quiet,
look.
I
I'll be
never thought I'd be
quiet.
dealing with a female like
If you
this.
want,
Like,
want me to be
Listen,
quiet, I'll be
when I
quiet.
talk sharp, my bitch gonna shut the fuck up. Listen,
Man, that's
supposed to be.
weird,
Listen to what
bro.
I'm
Like,
Talking lady.
Hold on, Sharp.
I feel
Hold on,
what
when I
you're
say
saying.
shut
Hold on,
the
Sharp.
fuck
This
up.
usually when I talk, I'm used to a bitch shutting the fuck up. Listen to what
Trying
I'm
to give her
saying,
one.
dissecting it,
This
and
stupid
then
bitch.
picking her part of
Her truth.
exactly.
I feel it.
This one right here, she just
Stop saying this one right here.
She
Talk
just
to me.
like-
Look at me.
it's like-
I'm right here. I'm fucking
What?
right here. I'm right here with you. Stop playing with me with Shark. I love you. You just talking to
my
Shark
God.
and you trying to like isolate me from that conversation.
Y'all, the cringe that I felt when I first watched this is off the charts.
I love you. I'm sorry. If you want me to be the bitch you talking about, what you talking to Shark about, I'll be that bitch. You said any other bitch. Like what? I'll be cool and I'll be quiet. I'll be
I
cool.
speak for myself.
I'll be cool and I'll be quiet. Like I'll be cool.
If you
Like
gonna be quiet, why you still talking?
Cause I'm talking to you, man.
What are you talking about?
Cause Daddy, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. How I feel.
So let's bring
ask
things.
your
Not to
question.
get hit like that.
Rock, I have a question for you.
We trying to get to
I'm
some
not
questions
being
here,
weird.
sweetie. For real, for real.
I don't care. I don't look bad.
Yes, you
I
do,
look like
bitch.
myself. Oh, babe. Why not?
Come on, why are you?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna step out and let y'all do the interview.
All right.
What are you getting
Hey.
up for?
So they walk off the interview, guys, and so I'm going to go to the next video where we can just cut to the chase here, and y'all get to see basically the aftermath of what happened right after that, okay?
In the hood world, you know, that's an honor for a motherfucker to say that. Like, really?
This was before.
Man, that's hard. Blueface.
This was still before, okay?
Only
Let me
happens.
fast forward a little bit.
You want to get violent?
Bad.
What do you mean? Do about
Hey, please get her outside.
Tiny, take her outside, bro. Pick her up by her ankle.
Don't please help, please.
Why are you doing that?
You want to be a man? I'm gonna show
I'm
you.
not being a man. Can you come here? Can you come here? Bobby, can you come here?
There ain't nobody trying to grab you, one whatever, like people trying to just be respectful. You'll still be able to talk and assess the situation, but right now, yeah, I just think it's best that it just, she off that Hennessy, man.
Lou, can you come here? No. No, can Lou, can you come here? Why you doing like that? Can you come here? Can you come here, bro? What are you like? Why you doing that? Why you doing that? Lou, what are you doing that for? Camera down. How do I Lou?
Yeah? Or you needed to wet your camera. Huh?
And that little bitch right there that came and tried to say, can you stop filming? I guess it's like Chrisean's assistant. Ma'am, you're not helping. You can excuse yourself. out of my face, because this is their studio that they're filming this at. This girl is tearing up the entire back area, you know, kicking stuff, broke that TV, like is having to fight with these grown men, getting kicked out of the studio because of her behavior. And what is this woman worried about? Can you stop filming? No, ma'am. No, we can't. You're a liability.
Don't worry about what. I will wet your camera.
What are you doing, my nigga? Come here.
Look at her. Wow.
What do you mean? Why are you being extra?
Oh, they should have gone upside her head.
You know I don't get down like that. So
You've been in this shit for a long time.
I mean, honestly, they should have gone upside that bitch's head, because no, ma'am, you know, like the behavior, the just disgusting behavior is what really does it for me. And it's just, you know, obviously that woman has bad intentions. She has bad, you know, ulterior motives, you know, coming from where she's coming from, trying to just basically, she's one of those like people that you would call like a hanger on. And if she had Chrisean's best interest at heart, she would not have acted the way that she wouldn't even be in that situation. Because how can you as a woman witness all of this and you're still trying to take the side of this woman who's erratic and out of control and is being dragged out of a studio? No. No, 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 ma'am. Absolutely not. So just to give you guys an update, okay, let me see. Basically, after this interview aired, you know, they both respectively went on Twitter and were saying that their relationship was over, right? They were done with each other and whoop-de-whoop, all of this sort. And, well, spoiler alert, guys, they were not done with each other. So just to make a long story short, these two have now been back together, have now been filmed back together. They did a live. She did a live, you know, the very next day. She's supposedly pregnant, okay, with his child. He's denied it. He said that she's slept with 10 other guys while they've been together, you know. And then after the denial of said supposed baby, then they did a live together where they were in the same bed. And then I just recently saw, just right before I jumped on here, guys, another live video shot by a bystander of Chrisean, who is supposedly pregnant, getting into a fight in the middle of the streets in LA with 2 other women. Okay, so this is the utter state, guys. This is it. This is the utter state of our culture, of our, you know, Instagram, clout chasing, you know, bullshit, basically. This is what young people are consuming. And it's worrisome. And it can kind of, you know, we've talked about like the violence that's happening with like young kids and how we're seeing more and more, you know, kids as young as 6 years old, you know, shooting people, young kids beating people to death in the street, young kids getting into vehicles, stealing vehicles. I mean, we're seeing more and more of this. And you know, there's so many different factors that come into play, but seeing things like this being propped up, relationships like this, people like this, and the way that they are getting attention, the way that they are getting likes, comments, you know, they're getting highlighted on different shows and programs and networks, is all playing into a very dangerous mentality that is being then consumed and repeated by young children who are then going out and doing their own bad things in society. So it's a vicious, disgusting cycle, and it has to end. I mean, it truly does. Like I said, I don't know. Write your congressman. I don't know what needs to be done, but somebody needs to intervene. One of them is going to end up dead if nobody does anything. And yeah, guys, it's really just as simple as that. So y'all, let me see. I think I have the live. I was gonna play this for you guys. Okay, so this will be our last thing, and this was the live where she was announcing her pregnancy, guys. I just wanted to show this because it was disgusting, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, let me see if I can get this going. Okay.
My emotions are crazy. They just took my blood pressure and stuff like that. And the only reason I feel like I'm so overwhelmed right now is because I'm deciding to keep it, obviously. We're gonna have the big baby shower.
Aww.
So yeah, pray for me.
Aw.
And then, yeah, we're gonna do this ultrasound. Hopefully, it's 3 heartbeats. Please, I want 3 kids. All right, 2. I want either twins or triplets. Fun fact, because that's how many I killed.
And I don't know if y'all caught that, guys. I don't know if you caught it. I'll run it back for a second, and just listen carefully, okay? Just listen.
Fun fact, because that's how many I killed.
She said she hopes that her ultrasound shows 2 to 3 heartbeats, because that's how many she's killed. Okay, so let that sink in. Meaning she's had 3 abortions with this man before. She's gotten pregnant by him 3 times, and she's killed 3 of her babies. So now she wants to replace them with this new pregnancy. I mean, when I tell you I was at a loss for words, I mean, it's so tragic. I mean, we're living in hell. This is purgatory. This is punishment. Like I said, this has to have been the rapture. You know, I don't know. I can't explain it otherwise. So y'all let me know. What do y'all think about all of this? Just utter chaos and just truly, you know, it's like, it gives me brain cancer. I don't know. Y'all let me know, guys. Please like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. This is not my normal content, but I you know, I had it in my heart. I wanted to come up here and say a piece about it. So here it goes. Here it goes. You know, let me know, guys, in the comments. On your way out, subscribe. Do it. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Until next time, I will see y'all later. Okay, bye.
I'm gonna finish. La la la,
wait till I get my money right.
Tupac told me back in the days, you know, you had to get your money right, and then you go to war. So I'm going to war.
Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing.
Y'all finally touched the person that's not gonna take it anymore.
You can't tell me nothing.
Okay, can I finish?
Interview adjourned. Peace.